Gentlemen, welcome back. Let me make sure I got audio. I do. All right. We are back at it. And as you can see, all of the main parts for the 1890 are sitting here. Everything major, including wood, is all here. Everything minor, including a pump, fits into that. So we're going to fix this up. I did, as you can see, I got the receiver off the face and I started working on it to see how deep the pitting is. It's pretty deep. It's not beautiful. So what we're going to end up doing is everything is going to get a first run steaming. Everything's going to get either steamed or boiled. This, I kind of want to boil just to see if I can get some goop off of it as well. But everything is going to get a steaming. We are also going to take the old 22 WRF, yeah, that's what it is, back up to a nice pretty blue as well, just in case, you know, one day we ever want to go back to WRF. Say somebody starts producing it full time and it becomes prolific again. I don't think that's going to happen, but, you know, if that were to happen, we're going to keep this barrel, bring it back up. I did mar it a little bit. You guys can see here. The receiver was extremely tight on this barrel, so it took me quite a bit of effort to get it back. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to take the hangers back off the barrel. This front hanger on this one is totally buggered. For anybody that's not aware, these rotate out. They are not a straight dovetail. Most people don't realize that, so what ends up happening, from what I can tell, is a lot of these barrels, they become very sloppy up front. So this one has been worked on, and you can see that it's holding. It's very, very ugly, but it is currently holding. I'm hoping that if I can do just a tiny bit of sanding over the top, it won't look as terrible, and then as we blue it, I'm hoping it also won't look as bad. If anybody out there watching this has cut one of these dovetails before, I wouldn't mind welding that dovetail back up and recutting it. I've just never done it, so I'm not sure what goes into the process of recutting one of these dovetails. Here's my thought. You get the 60-degree dovetail cutter, you sit it in, and you get it as the width of this flat right here. Sit it in the middle, and then basically just touch forward until you undercut as much as you need, and then you fit slowly. That's my thought. If anybody out there knows how to do this, if you don't mind, contact me, patrick@babyfaceP.com. Give me some advice on, one, that one's all buggered, but it is holding. Do I leave it the way it is? Or I have a milling machine. I got a TIG welder. Should we TIG that back closed on both sides, get the proper cutter, and cut that back in? Again, that's for somebody that knows a lot more about this than I do. So if you are that guy, text me, email me, call me, whatever it is, get in touch because I want some advice. So the hangers will come back off. We will take those out. Both these are going to get blued. This, I'm going to have to repolish this flat since I buggered it up so bad. You can see it in the light now. It's got teeth from holding it in the vise. It's not a big deal. We'll polish that back out. This is super, super rusty. We're going to have to clean that and probably, I don't know what we're going to have to do to get the rust off of it and then reblued. Wood's going to get a nice cleaning. This is a new production handguard that I put on it, and I don't like how it doesn't match, so we may take the finish off of it, and then I have some stain over here that matches that red. We may just go back and re-stain it, figure out what we need to do to darken it so it kind of matches better. Beyond that, the hand polishing, we'll do some hand fitting on the top. This is not going to be like the Model 11. The Model 11 was a deluxe model or a tournament grade, so it deserved that fine treatment. This is a run-of-the-mill 1890. It's going to get the run-of-the-mill 400 grit polish across the top, across the flats, possibly a matte finish across the bottom and top. We'll see how we go. 400 grit across here, and then a rust blue across everything. So let me get started. I'm going to get the boiler going, see if we can clean up some of these parts first. Like this thing is really, really, really bad. Oh, the other thing I should mention are the rest of the parts are on the way. So we are missing a couple of screws. We're going to replace a couple in here. We're missing a couple. We have the sights are on order, front and rear. think that's about it. That's about everything. So we got some work to do. Let me get the boil pot going so we can at least get some of this stuff started, cleaned up, and go from there. All right, if you've never seen this before, this is what you got to do. Grab your punch, something that will fit up in here. These punches fit nicely, and twist, and the hangers will come out. You can see that this one's been all buggered up. I did a little bit of welding, tried to hand file it. It's a real disaster. So again, if anybody knows of a good way to fix these, let me know. We're gonna have to be careful in this area when we blue. But there's one hanger. And move you guys up. As you can see, take the back hanger. Out it comes. And we're okay here. I might tap these down a little bit, see if we can get them basically tighten them up just a little bit extra before we go sanding. So try to put the metal back where it is before I sand flat. All right. All right, we got the barrel polished up. All the flats are nicely polished. So the only thing left to do is degrease it with a little fresh acetone. A little acetone or thinner, whatever you got. I got industrial paint thinner. Degrease. Let it flash dry real quick. And then we are going to start bluing this part. If you're coming to this and you want to see how to rust blue, I just did a whole video on a Remington Model 11. I'll link it. Hopefully I'll remember to actually do that while I'm editing this, but I'll try linking it in a pin or the card. That'll take you to how to do the rust blue itself, but we're ready here. Let's get some juice on this and start it rusting. All right. Got a pad ready to go. Make sure my fingers aren't too wet. We'll go on nice long stripes. And if like that other video, the Remington, this will probably take 5 rustings would be my guess. 4 or 5. The nice thing about this old steel is it rusts so nicely. The carbon steel from back in this time frame, so nice because it patinas so well, rusts so well. Which just makes it a pleasure to work on. New modern steels don't always rust this nicely. Make sure all the flats are nice and dark. Okay, that's it. Try not to leave any stuff on there. And that will rust up nicely. I'm going to do the threads too. Why not? It'll make it look better in the receiver. So. All right, it's already starting to turn a little bit. I'm going to leave it. We'll be back. All right, back at it. These parts have been sitting in white distilled vinegar, just regular old white vinegar for probably 2 hours. You can see it leaves a little film of rust on them, but they don't look bad. We have so these went in first. The trigger guard is going in now. So it'll take off any of the bluing, that's what we're going for. We're going to take off all the bluing. And then I'm one of those that doesn't, one, I don't like a high polish. Two, I don't want it to look like I tried to make it brand new again. So we're going to take, oh, I think they're inside. We're going to take Scotch-Brite, and we're just going to Scotch-Brite these so they are... Scotch-Brite is kind of like 320 to 400 grit sandpaper. It's right in that ballpark, which that is a really, really nice finish when you're doing a rust blue. So don't mind the fingernails. That's pretty fingernail paint from our stain. So I'm going to Scotch-Brite all of these back up. I don't know that I want to go higher than that, or I don't even know that I want to take out any of the pits. I don't think I want to go deep enough to take the pits out. I like to know that it's a used gun. Same goes, I'm going to get right in front of y'all. Same goes for our tube here. This magazine tube is really, really, really rough. You can see somebody battered this poor thing all up. So I'm going to leave it like this. I'm going to, again, Scotch-Brite it. This thing was just solid rusty corrosion, so it took me a while. I went to town on it with Scotch-Brite, brought it back to somewhat white. There's still some more up in here that we need to work on, plus the end of this. Let me bring it down. Whatever. You guys can't quite see it. This is, the opening here is a little messed up. It's flanged, and you can see that where it's supposed to be seamed, I believe that was a seam originally. I don't think that's a break. Either way, it's peened out. It's not perfect. So on the lathe, I'm going to go ahead and make a mandrel that will fit in here snugly. We'll then go tap this back in with a ball peen hammer, and then clean the inside of it out with some... probably just push a wire brush through and see if we can get it clean. And then we're just going to blue it the way it is. We're going to rust it like this. Because, again, I like character on all these old guns that I work on. I like having the character on them. I don't really want them to look brand new again. If you want something like that, I guess go to Turnbull. That guy makes everything look brand new, or probably better than brand new. So I'm going to get to Scotch-Brite in these. I'm not sitting out here in the heat. I'm going to do this in front of the TV. So I'll be back in like 3-4 hours once I'm done. Real quick, I just also wanted to check in. Again, this video is not a rust bluing video. If I ever need to do a full rust bluing, again, go back to the Remington Model 11. I did a kind of a higher, more detailed rust blue there. This is what it's going to look like. Trust the process. I always have to tell myself, trust the process, because right now that looks terrible, right? I'm going to take it and boil it, or actually we're going to steam it. I've come to the realization that steaming is just better for our hard water. We're going to steam it. I'll show you what it looks like after it's steamed, and then we'll cart it. Here we go. There's after our final rusting and boiling, steaming. There's a little bit of red rust on them. That's fine. That's actually on the surface of the black rust. So we're going to take these. I'm going to let them cool a little bit. Then we're going to card them off. I'll show you what they look like. We're going to soak them in kerosene for 12 hours. And the major components are done. The final step for us, final step in the bluing, we're going to do the small parts. Hold on. Here we go. We got all the small parts sitting in white distilled vinegar just to try to remove some of the red rust and the bluing. I want to take the bluing off of these. We're going to rust blue them. These will take 1 or 2 bluings. I'll have these done this afternoon. Once that's done, the major bluing is done. We have one more thing before I go and put this back together. Next video, I'm going to show you the magazine tube was a real disaster, and it's got a split in it. So next video, I'm going to show you guys, we're going to TIG weld the split since I don't have a way of brazing it. We're just going to TIG it, put a little spot of TIG weld on it, TIG it up, file it in, and then we're going to blue that. We should have this whole thing wrapped up today. Wood's already been finished, and we're going to get it back together and go shoot it. So I'll see you guys on the next one. We'll work on that magazine tube next. I'll see you guys then.